Okay, I've got to do kind of a quick one. I have a client in a few minutes, but I've had a few people asking, or I guess commenting on, in your videos you give all these like good tips on, how to tackle certain fears and particular tools you can implement, to overcome these rituals or routines or whatever. But I get all that, but how do I seriously just come to terms with the fact that I'm going to lose my identity? How do I accept the fact that for so many years or however long that you've struggled, you've been known as the person who's so thin and fit and disciplined and, you know, always choosing the healthy thing and always hitting the gym first thing in the morning? And how do you drop that identity? And that's such a hard one. Like, I feel like that's where a lot of the work I do with my clients is exactly that. Anyone can tell someone eat lots and lots and lots of food and rest, right? That's not like rocket science. The real work, though, I feel like in recovery comes when you've been doing those things. The honeymoon phase is over. Your body's changing. You're no longer getting compliments for how you look, which is really sad that we ever get compliments for how we look when we're sick, right? But all of those things are starting to go away. And if maybe anything, we're getting compliments, oh, you look so healthy, you look better. Or just for me, in my recovery, I went from like the compliments about my sick body to you're looking better, you're looking healthy, to nothing, to awkward silence. And I know that's like everyone's biggest fear, right? Their biggest nightmare is this like, what if I'm judged? What if people don't accept my new body or my new lifestyle? Which would be recovery, right? And I didn't really know either when I initially started recovery. One thing I did know was, at least for me, my personality type is very much like I say what's on my mind. So for me, the people that I felt like it was worth talking to, that I felt like were going to receive this information in a positive way and be supportive, I told them, look, I'm in recovery, like my body is going to change. I wasn't necessarily asking for permission, like I was going to do it either way, but just to kind of like, I feel like break the ice, or just to kind of like avoid awkwardness of them not really knowing what to say or if they should say anything. So I just said like, hey, I'm in recovery from an eating disorder. I have not been taking care of myself at all. I'm mentally in a very bad place, and I'm going to be recovering, and my body is going to change. And the body you've been seeing that you think is my normal body is not. I've been heavily suppressing it to make it look this way. A comment that I got right before I started recovery was this girl. I was obviously still working out at the gym, and I just come out of a spin class, and I've told the story before, I believe, in a video. Sometimes I forget if I've done them in videos or if I've told clients, but I think I've done it in a video where I was walking out of a spin class and she stopped me and was like, oh my gosh, you are so fit. How are you so lean? I can't believe, blah, 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 all that stuff. And it was like, I knew, like I felt recovery around the corner. Like I just knew I was going to choose it very soon. I knew I had to. And I was to the point where I was so fed up with my eating disorder that I said to her, I said, thank you, but just so you know, like I am extremely mentally ill right now. I said, my entire life consists of what I'm going to eat every day and obsessing about how much I'm moving in my exercise. This is not a good way to live. I do not feel happy at all. Thank you for thinking that my body looks well, but I'm extremely unhealthy. I haven't had a period in however many years. And I kind of just like, I was like, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't very nice about it. I think I tried to be, but I just didn't want her to walk away thinking that that was something to aspire to. I didn't want her to walk away feeling worse about her body because it didn't look like my body that was so sick. So that was a really pivotal thing for me. And in that moment, I realized when I said that, she kind of was like, oh, I think she kind of thought about it a little bit. Like maybe it's not all that it's cracked up to be. Or maybe all these people that I see around the gym that look so fit, like maybe there's a backstory to that. And so I just felt like that was the first day that I was like, I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be real about this, and I'm going to be honest with people, and I'm going to open my mouth and speak about my experience rather than pretending like, everything's fine, it's great. In recovery, it wasn't fine and it wasn't great. It was really, really hard. And so, not that I let everybody that I knew know about it, but I just felt like by talking about it a little bit really helped to kind of take just the pressure off, but then also just made it not so awkward for people that were seeing me. And even still, sometimes, you know, if I'm being honest, people would see me that hadn't seen me in a while, and I'd be kind of like, oh, how are you doing? How are things going? Just kind of shocked because it happened really fast for me. So I felt like going into recovery, just kind of wrap this up, going into recovery, I didn't know how I was going to lose that identity, but I also knew that that identity wasn't authentic to who I was. And I also knew that the people that I admired most in my life were not the people that were slaving away on treadmills, missing their kids' plays at school because they had to work out. The people that I admired didn't go out to dinner with their family and sit there and pick at lettuce instead of joining in eating the cheeseburgers with their family. Those kinds of things for me, because of my past, are not things that I admired and aspired to be like. So I knew I had to be authentic and stop doing those things. And as I lost my identity, I know this is going to sound completely crazy, but in some ways it was a huge relief. Like, as I got out of that body that was keeping me trapped and stuck in all those routines, there was almost a breath of fresh air. There was almost like a weight off my shoulders of like, maybe I can just be a person that just is. Like, maybe I can just be an average person. Maybe I don't have to excel at this or stick out for this way or be an exception here. Like, I can just be me. And by breaking down that identity, you start to build up and create a new identity. I don't know if I don't like labels on identity. I don't know what I am. I'm just like an average mom and an average wife and probably an average eating disorder recovery coach, and that's okay. Like, I've come to a place where I don't have to be the best at everything, and I don't have to stick out. So you will develop a new identity as you go through recovery. It is really hard, and that is my favorite work to do with my clients, is exactly that, to kind of see them evolve, to see their confidence come back, and for them to explore and discover things that they find that are actually meaningful and important in their lives. So hope that helps.